here. On SmackDown, there's going to be 4 rounds, 16 total picks. On Raw, there's going to be 6 rounds, 24 picks. As Kyle mentioned, champions on each brand are protected. The women's tag team champions are eligible.
But they're going to be on both brands anyway, possibly all 3 with NXT too. So it's kind of like, yeah, you can draft them, but why waste the pick, right?
SmackDown will pick first on Friday.
It's their show.
Raw will pick first on Monday.
That's their show.
And rosters will lock on Monday, May 6th.
That is after Lyon, France.
Yeah.
So they get to do their little finish your feuds on your current brands, and then we're going to split off. And it's almost like it's the annual yearly refresh of the WWE roster to be able to start new feuds, start new angles, build new stories, that kind of stuff. Now, this is the first time we're going to get to see Triple H handle this. And also, I'm fucking pumped for Uncle Howdy. I don't know what if Bo even comes back as Uncle Howdy. But I've seen the names that are being associated with this new Wyatt Six. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Before we show you who's going to be on each pool, we have the pools. We'll show those to you in a second.
They're all swimming.
And they're all swimming. Hopefully they all land.
And the island of obscurity.
One of them will not make it. Find out who when we come back.
Who will be the survivor?
The most underappreciated thing about this art form, and we really can't do it because it's a podcast, throwing it to commercial break is actually really fun. I don't know why.
We're going to tell you who's going to be in the pool right after this. Man. We can't do that. Don't leave. There's no commercial.
It's so corny. But
maybe at some point with YouTube we'll get some ads in here, but nevertheless,
Who's the one person on any of the 3 shows that you want to move to a different show? And as you think about that, we will show you the pool for Friday's show. So there's some key names there.
Seth's in there.
Chad Gable, by the way, what a night he had on Monday.
Slow build to that massive heel turn, baby. He's planting the seeds. Braun Breaker's in there. AJ Styles is in there. Who else? LA Knight's in there. Jey Uso is in there. Paul Heyman. Is eligible to be drafted.
Just Paul Heyman.
Randy Orton's in there. Andrade, Bianca Belair, a bunch of people, right? Roman's in that one, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I guess they can draft Roman Reigns, which is crazy. So is Tama Tonga. The Bloodline's pretty much in there for the most part. I don't see Jimmy in there. I don't think they forgot about Jimmy.
Right.
But this is tough because I feel like we're kind of built in with these feuds now too, and it's hard to know who's really going to stand out once the moves are made. But LA Knight going to Raw is going to be a big deal for him because he's not really on Cody's level, but he is on Damian Priest's level.
Yeah. And I think LA needs to change the scenery.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Let me talk to you.
Yeah. Yeet.
Yeet.
Come on, Jim. Yeet.
No yeet.
Jim is over there right now yeeting all over himself.
Yeeting his way not to produce our show. He was like, I'm not volunteering for this.
He is just full-blown yeeting. Just 10 feet to the left. My left, your right. Right?
I'm looking at these names. I keep looking to our, you guys see it here. I keep looking at these names.
Who do you think needs the biggest change of scenery?
I'm actually very curious why Paul. Well, they have him lumped in with the rest of the bloodline.
Draft the bloodline, that kind of thing.
You could do that.
It could be like a faction thing. It might be. We'll see what happens on Friday. But
I think Paul Heyman moving to Raw by himself would be interesting.
With Braun Breaker.
Himself.
With Braun Breaker. Let's say Braun gets drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
Which, again,
who would he align himself with?
Which is hilarious, by the way. Nick Aldis did all this work to sign Braun and Jade Cargill and watch them both leave and be on Raw.
Who would they align themselves with and kind of see where to... Honestly, for me, Braun Breaker...
He hasn't done anything on the main roster, though. So it's kind of tough. You can say leave again.
That's the tough thing with like the NXT involvement. Like, Braun Breaker was just signed. Jade was just signed. So hold up. Actually, I have something for you.
Okay.
And she'll probably be on the Monday's slide. Jade going to NXT.
That would be it. Well, so they're trying to get some names down there.
She's a name. I don't think Jade is ready for primetime weekly Raw or SmackDown television.
Wow.
From their view, I don't think she's ready.
She's about to win the tag titles with Bianca Belair, so she could go really to any show.
Right.
Maybe that's how you hide her a little bit too. Have Bianca work with her.
Mm-hmm.
It also builds that like possible feud down the line. I told you that could be a WrestleMania main event. Those two.
And if you, in case you forgot with the television, like Raw going to Netflix, obviously is a big deal. And beefing up NXT is important too, because this fall they're going to the CW.
Yep.
So they need
want talent.
names.
They want talent. That's why I've heard Kevin Owens being a name going down there. I've heard some guys.
If you know what? If Bianca, you will lose a bit of star power with Bianca going to NXT.
They could, if they win the tag titles at the end of the day, they're going to be over every show anyway.
They could be on every show.
So that's right. how you. It's like a cheat code.
But Jade, I think she's going to NXT. I think she'll be at NXT. As far as the guys who we have up here, Jey Uso's going to do his thing if he goes to SmackDown. I think anything Bloodline related or family wise related.
That'd be nuts if he gets drafted with the same show as the Bloodline again.
I think it's time.
So you think like maybe he has to go through some more trials with them?
Yeah.
And that's when Jimmy comes back and saves Jay, and they have the whole thing.
Remember again, his whole story on top of everything was he's trying to establish himself, be away from everybody. The time is now that he has to face.
We've also heard Jacob Fatu debut on Friday, so that's another guy who can.
Jay can't run no more. Jay,
not from Jacob. That dude's an. Have you seen that guy wrestle? He's an animal.
And Kyle, here's the cool thing: if Jay goes to Fridays, Cody's there too.
Yeah, he's got help.
He'll have help.
Well, Cody just gave him the seal of approval on Raw, though. I don't know. It feels kind of strange to do it now.
Well, but I look at Jay.
He just told him you're the guy, and he goes to his.
Priest is going to retain that world title. Jimmy, well, not Jimmy. Somebody will interfere. Something will happen that will prevent Jay from winning the championship.
Or do you just have Damian beat him to actually build him up?
They could.
He needs to have some strength in this reign here. Do you want to see the Raw pool really quick?
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's look at it here.
And then we can make sure Jim can do his important job tonight, not ours.
Yeah, Voice of the Land, which aired live yesterday, last night. So more names, more faces.
Braun Strowman's in there. That's interesting.
Yeah, Braun Strowman was actually like a top name in there. I don't know.
Well, who else we got? We got there's Kevin Owens is in there. We got
I like KO.
CM Punk's in there.
I like KO at NXT.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
I like KO at NXT.
Him and Trick would be a good feud. Rey Mysterio's in there. I'm looking at your laptop.
There's a lot of Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi. Feels like a lot of the stars. Wink, wink. Bobby Lashley's in there. Jade's in there. Gunther's in there too. Okay.
Looking at this. Well, this is where this summer is going to be important for WWE.
Finn Balor's in there, which I think he's kind of the weird guy right now with the Judgment Day. He's kind of the odd man out because JD and Dom are going to stick together. Damian Priest is going to be champion. Does Finn turn face? And I told before how we get this whole, feud with Damian Priest possibly for the title. Do we get Demon Finn Balor back? Does he go to SmackDown or NXT again? He already had a run in NXT, 2 runs in NXT.
Yeah,
Finn did. I mean, I don't think he needs a third one. I think probably SmackDown will make more sense if you're going to move him.
Yeah.
But I think Finn, where he goes, is going to be important, especially because he just signed that extension. I imagine there's some stuff in there where like, hey, you're going to be upper mid card main event. You're going to be that guy because AEW, I'm sure, would have plans for him to be wrestling the Ospreys and the Danielsons and all that stuff. So I imagine, especially because of Finn being a good soldier, being a tag champ, kind of letting Damian kind of have the limelight.
On the women's side, Candice LeRae. They made a subtle huge deal as far as her change of attitude over time here. And I think Bayley, they need to start loading up some heels for her.
Mm-hmm. That's not a bad idea.
And I think Candice going to SmackDown.
The way going to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, because we saw Ciampa start to get a little upset. Johnny's trying to play it off.
Mm-hmm.
Either the obvious answer is...
let me bring that up too real quick.
Flip those two.
You're splitting DIY. I think
I want to see heel DIY.
Ooh.
I want to see heel DIY. We've never
I would not
gotten
be against that.
We've gotten face DIY in NXT. We had heel Ciampa. We've had heel Gargano in the way.
I would not be against that.
We've never had heel DIY on SmackDown with the way around, with Theory there.
You can move them all to SmackDown.
Yeah, Indy and...
You can move them all to SmackDown. You can put them in a feud, at least initially, to establish the heel turn. Well, not establish the heel turn, but like they would... You got Grayson Waller and Austin Theory over there. But there's a couple of Street Profits.
Yeah.
You
can find babyface tag teams.
Kind of team up with the Street Profits a little bit.
Alpha Academy, you can do whatever you want. You can find some guys that need to be heaters for these two.
And again, like I said, Candice going over there too.
Yeah.
You can establish some heat. You can build her up. And
are we still doing? Are we expecting husbands and wives to be drafted together? That kind of thing.
I still think so.
So Seth and Becky probably on the same show. Montez and Bianca, same show. Candice and Johnny, probably same show. Even though, like I said before, the schedule isn't really that much of an excuse anymore. Because you're only gone 2 days a week.
True.
So, I mean, it's not like it was before where if you worked on a different show, you never saw your partner. You never went home. You get 3, 4, sometimes 5 days a week home.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice. You can work separate shows and still, okay, we still see each other 3, 4 days a week. That's not terrible.
One other big note, where CM Punk goes or stays will be that's going to tell us
NXT.
What they... When CM Punk goes to NXT, that tells you the CW is a priority.
That's nuts. NXT is going to pull AEW numbers then if they go to...
Where CM Punk goes, that's going to tell you what WWE thinks at this moment of priority as far as television partners.
You think it's CM Punk and not Roman?
Because of what you said last week about Roman. Yes, Roman's in this, but you can plug Roman wherever you want. He could do SmackDown right now because Netflix doesn't start up till January.
We've heard that
pull them wherever.
We've heard that like the TV companies and all that stuff have had discussions about this with them. Like, there's going to be divvying of this roster.
Well, let me point this out too. I think this is going to be, as we start to put a wrap on this, I think this is going to be key here. USA Network had to put up with basically having a B show because SmackDown was on over-the-air television on Fox, on a network that shows NFL football.
Yeah.
This is a different beast. Will USA Network be more aggressive in having top superstars on their show, which will be SmackDown in October? Will they be more aggressive knowing that, hey, I know the competing show is Netflix, but Netflix is a streamer. Netflix is not a product that is seen by everybody.
No. Seen
by a bunch of people, but not everybody. Not everybody has Netflix. But you can tune into Fox if you have a television and an antenna. Except here in Cleveland. We can't pick up Fox 8 here. But will USA Network executives make a point and say, we have the top show, and we need the bloodline. We need Cody. We would like Punk. We need Becky.
Bring me you want everybody? I mean, there's going to be and this is why it's nice to have someone like Nick Khan running the show. Corporate officer number one usually knows how to split things up and how to run business. So being able to have that side of it where he can consult with Triple H too, okay, who can we put where?
And then the CW as well. Like, who's the one person that they could grab that they're circling on their list? The CW.
Well, their wish list is probably like, we want Punk, we want one of these guys. But I mean, realistically,
right?
Somebody like a Kevin Owens is probably good for them. I mean, and maybe someone like Jade.
I think they can make a push for both of them. I think they can make a push for Jade.
Oh, yeah, they could. I mean, there's certain, obviously, like we said, we know the champions, and it's going to be NXT. So they could push for some of the younger guys too, younger girls. I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's going to be kind of obvious.